folks, welcome back to Cody Ranch, the saloon. Before we start though, your mum called. She says, can she get that t-shirt back? Because she needs to wash the car with it. But it's a good job Cody Ranch has got you. Anyway, we're not here for that. We're here, to discuss where Cody Ranch came from, how it exists. Because although Cody Ranch brand is new, its foundations have been over 25 years in the making. 25 years ago, I found myself sitting on the back of a horse, riding through an open pasture as the sun slowly climbed over the horizon. Cliche, I know, but very true. The world was quiet. There was no distractions at all. I can smell that now. Just the steady rhythm of the horse beneath me, the cool morning air, and miles of open country stretching as far as I could see. And I remember sitting there, taking it all in and feeling something that I'd never experienced before. And for the first time in my life, everything felt still. I wasn't thinking about tomorrow. I wasn't thinking about yesterday. I was simply present. It was a feeling of peace that I'd never known before. And I couldn't explain it then. And I know I'm doing a bad job of explaining it now because I really can't explain it now either. But what I do know is that a part of me never left that pasture. That single morning stayed with me for the next 25 years. Life moved on. And so did my career in the British Army. For more than 3 decades, I had the privilege of serving alongside some incredible men and women. And the Army shaped who I am. It taught me discipline, responsibility, loyalty, humility. It taught me that your word matters and that you look after the people beside you and that you do the right thing even when nobody is watching. Even when nobody is watching. Like every military career, there were demanding times, long periods away from home, pressure, uncertainty, and moments that tested every part of you. Whenever life became particularly turbulent, my mind would often drift back to that quiet morning on horseback. And like I said, I can still smell that air. It became a place I could return to and a reminder that there was another way of living. One built on simplicity, hard work, honesty, family, community. Every single year, sometimes twice a year. And I apologize to my wife and children for taking us back to America for the last 25 years every year. But we've headed back there. And it's not because I was looking for a holiday. I was just looking for that feeling. I've spent time on ranches, meeting ranching families, watched rodeos with them, rode horses with them, sat around campfires and drank with them and listened to how those lives have been shaped by the land. Every trip reinforced what I'd felt on that very first ride. What struck me most wasn't how different ranches were from soldiers. It was how similar they were. Both live by a code. You keep your word. You earn respect rather than demand it. You put the team before yourself. You take pride in doing a job properly. And when someone needs help, you don't ask whether it's convenient. You simply help. Those values don't belong to America. They don't belong to Britain. And they don't belong to the army. They belong to the people of character. Now, as my army career began approaching its final chapter, I started thinking about what came next. I knew I wanted to build something that reflected those values, not just another clothing brand, something with meaning. Something that reminded me or reminded people that character still matters. There are plenty of brands inspired by the American West. I see them every day on social media, and that's not a bad thing. Everyone has their own reason for being there. But Cody Ranch wasn't created because Western style became fashionable. It wasn't built around social media trends, photo shoots, or chasing the latest look, or because Yellowstone or Marshalls or whatever comes next. It was built from 25 years of experience that genuinely changed me. The ranches I've visited, the people I've met, the values I've witnessed, and the lessons I've carried home all become part of who I am. And that's the difference. Cody Ranch doesn't try to sell an image. It tries to represent a way of living. Because for me, the American West has never been about what you wear. It's always been about the character of the people who live it. And I suppose that's the difference. And that's how Cody Ranch was born. Not in a boardroom, not through a marketing meeting, not with a logo. It began on the back of a horse 25 years ago. So yes, Cody Ranch is a new brand, but its roots are much deeper than the day we launched. Every design we create is inspired by that journey. Every product represents the values that shaped my life, the values I learned serving in the British Army, the values I found time and time again on ranches across America. Integrity, hard work, loyalty, humility, respect, service. They're timeless. And I suppose my hope is that Cody Ranch becomes more than a clothing brand. I want it to feel like a community, and that it becomes a community of people who believe those values still matter. So whether you live on a ranch in Wyoming, you're on a farm in Yorkshire, you're in the middle of Tesco's, if you belong in that mindset, that lifestyle, you like keeping your word, you look after others, then do you know what? You'll always have a place right here. Thank you for joining me, and please feel free to share this post with like-minded people. You know who they are, they're in your circle, who enjoy this way of life. And I'd honestly love to hear from you as well. Drop me a comment and let me know how you fell in love with this lifestyle, because we've all got our own journeys to share. I head back stateside shortly, so be sure to check in and see what we've got planned. I need a new pair of boots, so no doubt that'll be one. So until next time, look, keep your word, look after your people, stay humble, and never lose sight of that place that brings you peace. Thank you. This is Cody Ranch. You have a wonderful day.